Hi, my name is Kais Ayari. I'm a Windows PowerShell expert, system engineer and programmer. And in this video, I will show you a special version of PowerShell, a Debian version. If you remember in the first video, I showed you a Red Hat based version of PowerShell, more focused on commandlet utilization. In this video, I will show you a Debian version because I've compiled two versions of PowerShell, a Debian version and a Red Hat version. And this video will focus on language element, .NET utilization, and module utilization because PowerShell is extensible. So it's another version of PowerShell. It's the same version, but another version. It's the same version because technically it's the same version, technically, programmatically, if you want, but it's not the same version because it's a Debian package. Okay. So first, let's do a PowerShell execution exe, run the engine, and as you can see, the prompt changed. This is a new prompt, and as you can see, I can change directory easily and pwd. Okay, this is a PowerShell prompt. So now let's see first a language part. Let's test some language element. First, let's do a simple comparison element. Let's declare two variables and test if A is less or equal than B. Okay? If A is less or equal than B, then write host A is less than B. Okay? Else write host A is greater than B. Okay, it's a very simple comparison operation, and PowerShell said me that A is less than B, and this is true because A is less than B. Okay, now let's do a for each loop construction. For each item in a collection of integer let's do an arithmetic operation between them times 3. Okay, and as you can see, PowerShell has performed a arithmetic operation for each item in the collection. 1 times 3, 2 times 3, etc., etc. It's a very simple for each loop. Okay, now let's do an array construction. Array with 5 element, 5 and not 6. Okay, okay, it's a simple array with 5 elements. Now if I want to print the number of elements in the array variable, it's possible with the count operator. 5 elements. If I want to print the first element, it's possible with first element indexing, 0, 1, okay, and array to print the last element, 5, okay. 0 is the first, and -1 is the last element of the array. If now I want to add a simple element, 6, for example, and then print the array, as you can see, now we have 6 elements. Okay. Now let's do a hash table construction. Hash table is a collection of value, but it's a key value pair. Let's do a simple hash table construction with two key, name server, and IP address as values. Okay. Then no, it's okay. DC 2008 and with no, voila, it's a simple hash. Okay, now if I want to print the hash element, it's possible with a simple hash instantiation, and as you can see we have two key and two values. Okay, now if I want to get the properties to manipulate the hash table, it's possible with the getMember command. GetMember command is a very useful command. GetMember member type, because I want only the properties, so properties like this, and as you can see we have a system.collection.hashtable. It's a .NET object, and this property represents the key and this property represents the value, as you can see. So let's hash dot keys DC 2012 DC 2008, and if I want to print the value of the hash table, it's possible with the values property. It's a system.collection.hashtable object. Okay. Okay. If I want to print the value of DC 2012, for example, it's possible with hash dot DC 2012. It's a very, as you can see, 10, 0, 2, and 24. 23, sorry. It's a very flexible collection and very useful collection in a scripting perspective. Okay. Now if I want to do simple operation, for example, 2 equal 2, in print me true, not equal to 10, true, greater than 25, true, 12 less than true. Okay, if I want to test if in a PowerShell word I have the shell word. And true, it's a like operator. It's a very useful operator with a wildcard character combination. Okay, if I want to use the split operator, for example, to split a value, it's possible. For example, Windows PowerShell, and as you can see, Windows and PowerShell are now two separated elements. It's a very useful operator. Okay. Now let's begin the .NET utilization, because PowerShell is based on .NET, and .NET is the principal part of the development of the PowerShell development on Linux and Debian, C++ and C# development. Okay, let's, for example, system.math and around. I've not implemented yet the IntelliSense. Let's do this operation, for example. Okay, something like this. And as you can see, it gives me a new value with 2 decimals. Okay. Now let's do a DNS resolution with system.net.dns. System.net.dns to do a simple resolution with get hosts by name resolution. So let's say a DC 2012. As you can see, it gives me 10.0.2.23. This is the address of the domain controller. It's a virtual machine. Windows Server 2012. It's a controller. It's a domain controller. Okay. It's a simple DNS resolution. Now let's do a string manipulation. Let's PSX, create a variable equal to Linux PowerShell, like this. Okay. Now, if I want to instantiate the toUpper method, it's very simple, like this, and all layers are capitalized. Okay. Now let's do a psx.toSplit. And as you can see, now we have Linux and PowerShell in another line. It's a simple .NET method to manipulate string object in .NET. Now, if I want to create an object, a PS object, because every object in the PowerShell ecosystem is a PS object. Okay, let's do an obj create with a new object command. Type name system.management .automation .ps object. Okay. Okay. We have an empty object. It's a pure object. Now let's say add member. Add three property: system, language, and operating system, and print the object. So obj, type the object to add member. Add member is a very useful command to add member. Okay, such as properties and method, etc. Note property. This shell is case sensitive, okay, for the moment. So system and value Linux. This is the first element, the first member of the object. Let's add another member. No. Add member type. It's a not property. Okay, name. Language. Value C. Okay, and add a third member. Add member type, not property. Name, operating system. Okay, and value Debian. Debian, like this. Now let's print the object. Let's print the object to the pipeline. And as you can see, we have an object, a PS object with system. Technically it's a PS custom. It's a PS custom object, sorry. It's not a PS object, it's a PS custom object with system, property, language, and operating system. It's an object with three properties: Linux, C, and Debian. Okay. Now we have created a very simple object. Okay. Now let's say every .NET developer know that it's possible to build, to program GUI, graphical user interface, and PowerShell is based on .NET, so it's possible to develop a graphical user interface with PowerShell. So let's create a small Windows with system.windows.forms.messagebox and the show method, show. Okay, ready to script, question mark. Okay, let's say question type, and after that let's add a yes no button. So system.windows windows dot forms dot message box button, message box button, yes, no. Okay, and last, the same type of thing, but with system dot windows dot forms dot message box icon to indicate a question. Message box icon question. Okay, and okay, so let's review that. Message box show question system.windows. Okay, so let's press enter, and as you can see, PowerShell shows me a simple form. It's a .NET form, a question, as you can see, ready to script. Okay, and if I click on yes or no, as you can see, it prints me a value here, and I can handle this value and do everything I want with this value. I can instantiate .NET form with PowerShell on Linux, and it's a good thing. So now let's jump to the module part. I've compiled this version of PowerShell to add in a run space a module. So let's the module is here, module.psm1. psm1 is the name of the extension. Okay, so if I want to cd home with the module location, home scripting and module, it's a similar Windows architecture and sysinfo module, pwd. Okay, so now let's do an ls, and as you can see, I have a module, a psm1 module, and if I double click on the module, I have a function, a get domain. It's a very simple function with a switch construct. The function take a computer name, a server name as an input parameter, and check with specific value to see the context of the server. Is it a Europe domain, US domain, or Asia domain, or another domain? It's a very simple module. Take a input a server name and check if it's a Europe with a regex expression to check the first character. Okay, it's a very simple module, and to import the module in my portion session here, I have to use an import module command and indicate the module .psm1. Okay, now I've imported the module, but to check if I really imported the module, I can use get command because this version of PowerShell is not in a auto-loading module perspective. You have to import the module manually. Okay, I have not implemented this function yet, like PowerShell version 3, for example. Okay, get command name, get domain, because if you remember in if you remember in the module, it's a module with a function get domain. Get domain is the name of the function. Okay, so I want to check if the function was added correctly to the run space. Okay, and as you can see, I have a function in my commandlet table, get domain, with the module name of module. Module, that's the name of the module here, module.psm1. Okay, so now I can use the module. Get domain, get domain with computer name, let's say EUR or VXM, and the server EUR server XM is in Europe domain, so it's okay. Now let's test another input, computer name, US or VXM. Okay, the server US is in US domain. Okay, that's okay. So let's get domain again and check. And check with another value, computer name, no, let's check AC SRV XM. It's another context, and is it in Asia domain? Asia domain, because it begins with ASI. So now let's type another computer name, hello ES V XM, for example, and the server is in another domain because it begins with N and O. So the module functions correctly. As you can see, I have here a default clause. If the input does not begin with those letters, and print me this statement, so the module functions correctly. That's all. Here it's a very complete version of PowerShell soon. Okay, thank you and bye bye.